what kind here? It does not matter what is spiritual or material. Whatever you will observe, you will think that is best one. For example, Devaraj Indra, the king of demigods, he was relishing the happiness of celestial planet. Every day drinking nectar, which making immortal. And long. Immortal means long life. So here immortal means long life, not eternal. Demigods are not immortal, but they are told as immortal. Means long life. If they have long life, then human being. So Devaraj Indra is releasing celestial planets objects like nectars and drinking, enjoying all the benefits of celestial planet, like releasing the celestial music, dancing with the apsaras, etc. So he was enjoying superior happiness than this earth planet. But when he was powerful and became pig, so he was roaming in the Vrindavan or anywhere else. So, but he was eating the stools. You know this. If you go in Vrindavan, this is very common. When you go to Vrindavan nowadays, you will find dogs and pigs very easy. So, Indra also one day became pig. And when Indra became pig, when he gave up the celestial body and received this material mundane pig body, then he thought this is best. Yeah, this is best for you. You see how influencing the absorption of accepting spiritual and material any mood. So when Indra became pig, he is not thinking, oh, I am fallen. No, I fell down. He is never sorrowful mood. He thinks I am best, I am okay. So he was enjoying the stool, eating the stool and thinking I am okay. But Brahma, well, Lord Brahma knows, oh, what is doing the king of demigods Indra here? He became pig. But he is not the object and person of this planet. He is the object and person of celestial planet. So being compassionate, Brahma wanted to release him. So when Brahma came, then that Indra, who is in the pig's body, he wanted to attack Brahma. Like you go in the street, if pigs are going, they will try to attack. So even Indra in pig's body he wanted to attack. Our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, he explained this in his Upadesh Upakhyam. In his Upadesh Upakhyam. So Indra in the pig's body he wanted to attack Brahma, who was Indra's well-wisher. He, being compassionate, he came to release and promote Indra from pig body to Indra's body. But due to attachment to that body, his ignorance was so dense that he forgot that he is well-wisher of Indra, but he wanted to kill and attack Brahma. Then Brahma knows, because he is Pitama Brahma, he knows past, present and future also. He is not like our condition. So he knows why he is doing this. It is not Indra's nature, it is the body's nature. So Brahma was not surprised, so he wanted to promote him. Brahma thought, why he is doing this? Because due to attachment of this body and his family. Because at that time already Indra has so many children in pig's body. So similarly, the same now you see in Vrindavan when you go to Sevakund or other places, if monkey is alone, he will attack less you. He will attack you less. He will not be so disturbed. But if you disturb his small kid, immediately he will come to attack you. So be careful. If monkey is alone, he will not attack seriously. But if he sees that you are disturbing to his small kid, then he will become very violent. So now Brahma is looking that why this Indra is attacking to me? Because he has lots of children And now when I came here, he thinking that I am going to create problem to his children. So the root cause of this pig's anger, who is Indra himself, his children. So now Brahma took all the children. Brahma took all the children. Then pig he could not see. Where is children? Where is, because by mystic power Brahma took all to decrease his attachment. Now pig is unable to see. When he could not see, then he became more angry. Then he wanted to attack more and more to Brahma. Then Brahma thought, now he is so in ignorance, without my blessing he cannot understand. Then he took the water from his kamandalu and sprinkled on pig. Then he said, oh, why you are trying to attack me? Who are you, no? Then he said, yes, I am okay, I am pig. He said, I am pig. Indra telling, I am pig. He forgot that he is Indra. Because, for example, our consciousness is saying, we are not this body, we are telling, yes, who are you? Yes, I am a man, I am woman, I am American, I am Indian, but this is a like pig. Yes, yes. He was in pig's body, so he told pig. We are in human body, we are telling human being. But we are neither human being nor pig. So, he gave according to his body, we are giving according to our body. So, but consciousness is same. So, we should know the subtle thing. Because we are thinking, when this discussion, we think, oh, we are thinking about Indra only, but we are forgetting about ourselves. Yes. So, then Brahma asked, who are you? Then he spoke, I am pig. Then Brahma said, no, you are not pig. You are Indra. Then pig said, no, I am not Indra. I am pig. Then Brahma told, no, you forget you are Indra. You are not pig. Then also he told, no, I am not pig. I am not Indra. Then Brahma again chanted mantra and sprinkled water to improve the consciousness. Then pig was able to understand, maybe I was, but not now. Yes. Then Brahma said, no, not now, but before also and now also. Just you have lower consciousness. So let us go to celestial planet. Are you agree? Then pig said, yes, by your blessing, now desire coming to go, but in one condition. Now, because before I had no desire to go, but now I have desire to go, but in one condition. What is that? Is there my foods are available sufficient? My food, what I am eating, is there available there? Then Brahma said, what kind of food? Yes. Then the Indra in pig's body told, is stool available in celestial planet? You see, this Indra in pig's body asking about stool to in celestial planet. Then Brahma said, no, don't you forget about stool. You will get a superior food there. So you will forget about this. Then Indra told, no, I don't want to go there. If no stool available there, I don't want to go there. Yes. So this is the influence of body. Which body we will accept, we will observe in that. Similarly, like Brahma, after that, then Brahma again promoted his body and consciousness by sprinkling water and chanting mantra. Then Indra agreed. Understanding, then Brahma released him. Similarly, now Guru, Vaishnava, Acharyas and scripture, especially Guru and Vaishnavas and Acharyas, when they are coming and they are looking our degraded condition and they are telling, oh, you are not this body. So you are a spirit soul. And after, if we are able to understand that spirit soul, then want to promote more. You are not spirit soul only, you are Radharani Kinkari. Yes. But still we are not ready to go. Just we are listening and we are desirous of enjoying our sense gratification. We want to stay here. Okay, maybe I will try, but we are not ready to go immediately. So that's why Guru, Vaishnava and Acharyas, they are trying like Brahma tried to Indra. So we should try to go to attain our destination as quick as possible after knowing this. Because you will see our all Acharyas, all Guru Vargas, they gave their lectures one verse, which is prominent. What is? Labdva sudulomidam bahusambhavante manusyam arthadam anityam apiyadhira turnam jate na pate anumrityu java nishreyasaya vishaya khalu sarvatasya. This is most important verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is necessary for us. We all of us, we should memorize this. Why? Unless only memorizing is not sufficient. Memorize and realize is necessary. Unless you realize, we cannot, our sadhana, we will neglect. We will neglect our sadhana. If we realize, we will try to go as quick as possible. Why? We have to understand this verse. If only for one verse, this verse, if we explain in detail, it may take 1 week. So many Siddhantas are there. But I am not going to do that. Just I am giving the essence of this verse. That what? Labdva sudulamidam bahusambhavante. We have attained this human form of life after a long time. Means 84 lakh species of life. Labdva sudulamidam bahusambhavante. Manusyam arthadam anityam apiyadhya. This human form is anitya. Although after 84 lakh species of life we have attained this, but still it is anitya, means temporary. It will not last long. So, how we can be intelligent? This, although this is temporary, not permanent, but arthada. Anityam, how many adjectives are used in this verse for this human body? It is said, first adjective is manusyam arthadam. Anityam. First is anitya. It is temporary. Then arthadam means artham dadati jasa arthada. Means this human form can give you whatever you want. There is nothing which human body cannot give you. But pig's body cannot give you. Even Indra's body cannot give you whatever you want. But human body can give you everything, whatever you want. This is the speciality of human form. That's why nowhere said in scripture that demigod's body is very, very rare. No. Demigod's body is very, very rare, not told. Human body is very, very rare, it is said. Durlabham manusudeva. Durlabham manusudeva. Durlabham manusudeham, it is told. Means this human form of life is durlabha. Durlabham devadeha. No. Durlabham manusya means human form of life is very, very rare to attain. So, although it is very, very rare to attain, but it is arthadam. Means it can give you, artha means what is necessary for us. What is necessary for us and what we need. So whatever you will desire, this human body can give you. If you give up this body, you are losing golden opportunity. So be careful. But we are not realizing value of this human form. Once we lost this, then very difficult to get back again. There is no guarantee about human form that when you will get. But once you will be granted after 84 lakh species of life. This is the guarantee. This is the guarantee that once you lost means after 84 lakh species of life you will have opportunity once. But after that there is no guarantee. Once you lost, again guaranteed after 84 lakh species of life. But before that, how many life? No guarantee. So we should know how valuable it is. So although it is temporary, anitya, but arthada. Arthada means whatever we want, we can get. There is nothing impossible by which, by human form, we cannot get. That's why this human form is very, very valuable, and we should try to realize the value of this, and we should try to attain highest goal, not these material benefits only. Because these material benefits can be possible in any form of life. But spiritual benefit, which is the highest destination Radha Dasyam, that is only possible if we will be careful in this life of human form, not in any other form. Because only human form is meant to practice. Our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was speaking in his lectures and wrote in his scriptures what is real business of human form of life, that is practicing Krishna consciousness. So without practicing Krishna consciousness, we are not real human being. So if we don't practice Krishna consciousness and practice other material consciousness, that is, we are not real human being. It is compared as a pasubhi samana, like animal, bird and beast. So we should carefully think of this word, that anityam arthadam. The human form of life is temporary, but arthadam means whatever we want we can get. Those who are careful, they can get in this life. Our Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was telling, we should not delay. We should try to attain our perfection in this life only. Why? Already I have told you several times, minimum 3 lifetimes we need to attain our highest goal. This life and one more life. If we are careful, minimum 3. Yes, if we are careful, then only minimum 3. But if we are careless, how many lifetimes? Maybe 1,000, 1,000, million lifetimes. Yes, there is no guarantee. But if we are careful, then only 3 lifetimes minimum. For example, if we are careful now, then in this lifetime we should reach till bhava. Till bhava. Then after attainment of bhava, our body will be promoted from material to vastu siddhi. Because there are some misunderstanding that we cannot have vastu siddhi in this body. Only sarva siddhi. When vastu siddhi, this body cannot tolerate. In vastu siddhi, we will have transcendental body. So we will be promoted to associate with a nitya siddha Brajavasis. So this is second body, second lifetime. So when second lifetime we will be trained by Brajavasis, our some lacking and imperfections will be perfected by training. For example, when we are studying in school, college and universities, after completion of university's qualification, when government is going to appoint a worker to work the job, then we need training first, who have experience already. So like military and any official work, we have to take training under guidance of seniors. Because after we are only reading theoretical knowledge in university, if you go to work, you will do mistakes. For example, who studied doctor, unless he has proper training, if he immediately go after studying the books, go immediately to make the treatment, he can kill many people. Yeah, that's why proper training necessary, who has already experience. Similarly, sadhana siddha devotees, they are lacking something, no proper experience to how to do service of Radha Krishna. Because before going to serve Radha Krishna, we should be completely perfect. Before that, we will not be allowed. We will be allowed under guidance of Brajavasis. So, next life, we will be under training of Brajavasis, who are Nitya Siddhas. Then our lackings will be completed. Then we will become completely perfect to attain Radha Krishna service, by which Radha Krishna will be pleased. So, in third life, we will be completely perfect. So, if we are careful only, we need 3 lifetimes. But if we are unable to attain bhava, and we are not careful, if we could not cross our anartha nivritti, then we don't know how in life we will go. Yeah. That's why we should be very, very careful. And Bhagavata says that way. What is Turnam Jate? Labdhva Sudlamidam Bahusambhamante Manusham Arthadam Anityam Abhiyadira. Turnam Jate. Sanskrit Turna means immediately, as quick as possible, without delaying 1 second also. Turnam Jate. In Sanskrit, Turna means immediately, as quick as possible. Jatet means we should endeavor, we should try, we should be very, very careful. Turnam Jatet na patet jagat. As before giving up this body, means before death. Why? After death, we have nothing to do. Nothing is in our hand. We have golden opportunity to do before death only. Because before death we have everything. We can do whatever we want. But after death we will have known this body. Then how we can do this? So Turnam Jatet na anumrityu jagat. Anumrityu means before death. But what for we will try? Nisraya Saya. Nisraya Saya means highest destination. Not for material benefit. Not for material luxury. So for highest destination we should try. What is the highest destination? That is Radha Rasa. So you know this verse, our Bhaktijan Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, he was giving lecture on Srimad Bhagavata every day in Bagbazar Gaudiya Math, Calcutta. In Calcutta, Bagbazar Gaudiya Math, he was giving every day Srimad Bhagavatam lecture in the evening class. So many audience from Calcutta city, they were coming and listening. Among them, one of them were two. One is our Bhakti Rakha Sridhara Goswami Maharaj and A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Both. So when they listened to this verse, both of them, when they listened to this verse, after listening, they went to ask to Prabhupada. Why? Because Prabhupada spoke Turnam Jate. Turnam Jate means as quick as possible, immediately, without delay. Then now, Bhakti Rakha Sridhara Goswami Maharaj asked, and A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada asked. And that Turnam means immediately. What is the meaning of Turnam? Then Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada explained, Turnam means immediately, as quick as possible. We should not delay at all. Then Bhakti Rakha Sridhara Goswami Maharaj, after listening this, immediately gave up everything and surrendered to him. So because his Turna means immediately, without delay. So whatever he had everything, he gave up and immediately surrendered to Prabhupada and became his disciple. So, and that made him great Acharya. Why? Because whatever he listened, he wanted to realize, he wanted to make his life practical. Not only listen this year and took out this year. Like us. We are, it does not mean that we have been listening. We have been listening this verse from many Vaishnavas, but we are not doing like them. That's why our improvement is not progressive. But they became why great Acharya? Because whatever they were listening, they were making practical immediately. So after listening this, immediately gave up everything and surrendered to Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Then our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj also came and asked, oh Prabhupada, now you told as quick as possible, but I have to do this business, I have business. At that time he was doing medicine business, I think, chemical. So then I have this and this. Then Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, yes, you have to make arrangement as quick as possible to give up, but Turna means immediately. We have to attain that highest goal. Then he made all the arrangement. And when he desired, then Radharani, Krishna, Mahaprabhu, they arranged his all arrangement, how he will give up that. Then he gave up everything, came to Keshavji Gaudiya Math in Mathura, then came to Radha Damodar temple, then only progressive, no go back again. Because they were making practical. What Prabhupada said, what Bhagavatam is saying, they were trying to make, apply in his life. Those who are applying, they are getting benefits. So similarly, when we will try to apply, then we will be improved and we will be guaranteed in this life we can have bhava. But if we neglect, if we waste lots of our time for nothing, then it is impossible to attain bhava in this life. Because bhava is not easy, we have to cross several steps. Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Atha Bhajan Kriya, Tata Anartha Nivritti, Tata Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava Prema. This will be only possible when we will be careful and properly utilize our valuable span of life and non-stop practice. Why? Those devotees who are not chanting, not practicing, not doing bhajan, anartha is impossible to destroy. This we should know. Why? What Rupa Goswami spoke? Atha bhajan kriya tata anartha nivritti. When we will do bhajan, then only anartha will be destroyed. If no bhajan, no anartha will be destroyed. If anartha is there, you cannot improve. Anartha will create so many problems. And it will not let you to concentrate the mind to remember Radha Krishna and their pastimes. It will only divert your mind to think about material things. Because these are anartha. Anartha means what? Anartha means unwanted. But real meaning of anartha is na artha anartha. Our A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he translated and wrote in his scriptures, I have studied. Anartha means unwanted thing, unwanted. So, I am explaining little, clarifying this, that anartha means, according to Sanskrit, na artha. It is na in Tatpurusha Samas. In Samas means case in Sanskrit grammar. Anartha means na artha anartha. Na means no. Artha means necessary. Means we don't need that. Anartha means what we don't need. But those things we are trying to get, really we don't need. Means it is ignorance. Understand the point what is anartha? Really we don't need, but we are trying to get that. Why? Due to ignorance. So these things which we don't need, but we are trying to get that. So anartha means we are telling anartha, but we are not trying to understand real meaning. We are telling, oh, I have anartha, so many anartha. If anartha, why you are trying that? You are trying, but oh, I have so anartha. If you know that anartha, so why you are trying to get that? So anartha means no artha, which really we don't need that. But we are spending our lots of time and valuable span of life for that. So this is anartha. So it will not be destroyed unless we do bhajan. Why? The sequence and step of destruction of anartha Rupa Goswami spoke, bhajan kriya. If we don't do bhajan, then no anartha will be destroyed. If no anartha will be destroyed, then no nishtha will come, no ruchi will come, no asakti will come, no bhava, no prem. Then how possible? So to attain higher steps, first we have to cross anartha nivritti. If we want to cross anartha nivritti stage, then we have to do bhajan. So bhajan means different 64 limbs of devotion. And most prominent in Kali Yuga, because Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami, both of them they spoke. Jadyapi kalau anya bhakti kartabhya, tadapi sankirtanakya bhakti sanjovenayo. Although, because Rupa Goswami studied all the scriptures, in different scriptures, 64 limbs of devotion is not explained in one scripture only. All together not explained. Rupa Goswami studied all scriptures and he collected all limbs of devotion together and put in sequence in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So he concluded there are 64 limbs of devotion. So out of 64 limbs of devotion, whatever we want, we can accept according to our ability. There are some devotees who want all. Like Ambarish Maharaj, he was practicing multi limbs of devotion, many. But some devotee only one. By one also one can be perfect. Like Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, out of 64, 9 are prominent. Out of 9, 5 are prominent. Out of 5, 3 are prominent. Out of 3, even 1 is also prominent. So it depends upon it. But whatever we will accept, that should be perfect. We should practice perfectly. So in Kali Yuga, 3 sadhana. If one is practicing, then it is guaranteed he will improve. No one can make his downfall. What are they? Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha one should associate as more as possible. One who is separated from Sadhu Sangha, for him difficult to improve. Impossible. Alone, Jiva cannot improve. Sadhu Sangha, because whatever, for example, you study in scripture, 10, 15 years of study, whatever you cannot understand or realize, only listening from sadhu within 5 minutes you can understand that. Yes. Within only 5 minutes you can understand that. But you may not understand by 15, 20 years study yourself. So only one word of sadhu can change your life. That's why Jivanta Sadhu Sangha is most important. Jivanta means living sadhu sangha is most important. If living sadhu sangha is unavailable, then only indirect sadhu sangha. Because jivanta means direct association of sadhu sangha is not available always. So when not available, then we can take help through scripture and listening. So most important in our life is sadhu sangha. Then Harinam. Harinam. We should say Harinam also every day. And Harikatha. These 3 who will follow, he will never fall down. You try to test it. And who, yes, one who does not do this but practice other things, he can improve. Who does not do these 3 means Sadhu Sangha, Harinam, Harikatha. But if anyone adopting other limb of devotion, he cannot improve more. Why? In Kali Yuga, other limbs cannot give perfection without addition of Harinam and Harikatha. Jadyape Kalau Anya Bhakti Kartavya. Although in different scriptures it is said that out of 64 limbs of devotion, any limb we can adopt. That is true. It is told in scripture. But not for Kali Yuga. Not for Kali Yuga. It is for other Yuga. But in Kali Yuga, if anyone is interested to practice other limb of devotion, he can practice, no problem. But in addition with Harinam. If you know Harinam, but other limbs of devotion, it cannot make you perfect. Why? This is not Yuga Dharma. For example, before US was under control of Donald Trump. Mr. Donald Trump. Yes. Now US is under control of Mr. Joe Biden. So now you have to follow the Joe Biden rule now. When who will the present president, his power is more influential. So unless you follow, you will be arrested. But if you go the past presidents rule to follow, then it will not help you. For like who is first president of
Washington.
George Washington. If you try to follow the rules introduced by George Washington, you may not be applicable now. Now what Joe Biden is telling, that rule will be applicable because he is in power now. Similarly, now we are in Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga, what is giving license, that we should follow. But if you adopt the process of Satya Yuga, if you adopt the process of Treta Yuga, if you adopt the process of Dwapar Yuga, you cannot be successful in Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga is licensed what to do. So in Bhagavatam we told, Kriteja Dhyayata Vishnu, Tretayam Jagato Mukhe, Dwapari Paricharyayam, Kalautat Hari Kirtana. So in Kali Yuga, Hari Kirtana. Harinam, Harikatha. Kirtana means not only chanting Harinam. Kirtan has two meaning. One is chanting Harinam and speaking Harikatha. For example, Rupa Goswami is speaking in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that out of 64 limbs of devotion, any limb can give you perfection. If any devotee is qualified, he can have a multi limbs of practice. But if any devotee is interested only one limb also, that can be applicable to make perfection. How multi-limb devotion giving perfection, how one limb is giving perfection. Like Ambarish Maharaj, he adopted several limbs of devotion. Sabai Manam Krishna Padara Vindaya Vatansi Vaikunda Gunanumanan, like this very long verse. Because he was practicing so many limbs. But Parikita Maharaj did not practice any, only one. Sravane Parikita Abhavat. Rupa sent in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. Sravane Parikit Abhavat means Parikita Maharaj got perfection only by listening without practicing other. Just he came, sat and listened from Sukadeva Goswami's lotus leaves, 7 days continuation of Bhagavatam, then got perfection. And Sukadeva Goswami was not practicing other leaves. Sukadeva Kirtan. Sukadeva Goswami was speaking only Harikatha. So, but here Rupa Goswami telling, Sukadeva Goswami was not speaking Harikatha, he was telling Sukadeva Kirtan. But Sukadeva Goswami is not doing Kirtan. So here Kirtan means Harikatha. Here Kirtan means Harikatha. So Kirtan and Harikatha, chanting Harinam, chanting Harikatha, both are equal. And Harinam, Harikatha and Hari. Like Radha Govinda's Kirtan and Radha Govinda's glories, Harikatha, are identical. There is no difference. How? Because Rupa Goswami telling in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, Naman Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Suddha, Nitya Mukta, Abhinatva Namanam. Abhina means identical. No difference between Nama and Nami. Means there is no difference between Radha Govinda's Vigraha, form, and Radha Govinda's name and Radha Govinda's glorious Katha. So, three are identical. And these three are most important in Kali Yuga. So, one who will adopt this, like association of sadhu, listening Harikatha and chanting Harinam, then he will be more powerful. And his devotional kripa will be improved day by day. Never struggle, impossible. Unless he commits any offense. Otherwise, no one can stop his improvement. Why? Kaviraj Goswami telling Sravana Kirtan Gale Karaha Setan. How our devotional kripa will be nourished day by day? By Sravana Kirtan. If you don't Sravana and Kirtan, then devotional kripa will not grow. Like, if we have planted some creeper or plant, but if you don't give water, then it will not grow. It will dry and die. So, to grow the plant and creeper, we need regular watering. Similarly, to improve our devotional creeper, we need regular watering. What is that watering? Sravana and Kirtan. Listening and speaking Harikatha. So, if we do this, then our devotional creeper will nourish day by day without any stopping. But those devotees who are not doing this, their devotional creeper will not improve at all. That's why you will see, you may feel, oh, I have taken Harinam many years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 25 years. I have taken Harinam and initiation from Gurudev. But are you feeling improvement? No, I have not taken. I lost my faith and everything. Now interested for material life. Why? Because due to lack of this watering. Only taking Harinam is not sufficient. Practicing is necessary. Shravan Kirtan. If you know Shravan Kirtan, that creeper will not grow anymore. So regular watering is necessary. We have to take care of the plant. If we are planting something, then we have to take care of it. It is dry or not. If dry, we immediately give water. Similarly, our soul will be dried up. Unless we chant Harinam, unless we associate Sadhu Sangha and listen Harikatha. For example, if you try to test it, just a few days you separate from sadhus and stop chanting and stop listening Harikatha, your mind becomes crazy. and you will lose the taste for sadhu sangha, harikatha and bhakti. Your mind will become very attached towards material world. Yes. So, to nourish the devotional creeper, we need regular harinam, harikatha and sadhu sangha. And one who does this, sure his devotional creeper will increase, unless only in one condition, that is offense. So we should be careful for offenses to protect. And regular watering is necessary. So most important thing to improve is these three things. One who does this, he will have no problem. So now, today, we will continue how to attain the highest goal. What is our highest goal? Our highest goal is to attain Radha Rasya. Then how we will know that? If we follow our acharyas, how they taught us to release that, to attain that. Our Raghunath Das Goswami, our Rupa Goswami, all 6 Goswamis, and Prabhupada Saraswati Pad, they taught us how to attain Radha Rasya. What is the symptom of Radha Rasya? How Radha Rasya is being released. All these we can know, and desire will come to get that when we listen their realization, their feeling, and how they were practicing. That's why we should listen all those topics, how they were practicing, how they were experiencing, what was their life of practice. If we follow them, then only we can also get the taste to get that. Unless we listen these topics, unless we associate with those sadhus who have this, who are desirous of getting that, and who are releasing and feeling and realizing, unless we have opportunity to associate with them and listen from them, then it is very difficult to get that. For example, our Kaviraj Goswami spoke in Chaitanya Charitamrita 1 verse. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam yadi kutopi lapyate tatra laulyameva mulyamekalam janma koti sukritapi na labhyate. Means Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam. We should purchase, we should buy. What we should buy? Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati. Means Krishna bhakti, no other bhakti. There are several bhaktis. Rajasi bhakti, tamasi bhakti, demigod bhakti, ghost bhakti, witch bhakti, many. Yes, there are many scriptures also. Yes, there are many scriptures. All scriptures are divided into 3 parts. Rajasiga, tamasiga and sattviga. Rajasiga means in the mood of passion, and tamasiga means in the mood of ignorance, and sattviga means mood of goodness. But we don't need all these 3. There are different people according to their sanskaras, according to their prarabdha karma, previous lives karma. They have different sanskara, so they can get that. They can try to get that due to ignorance. But after coming in contact, after coming in association now with the Saraswata Gaudiya Vaishnavas and Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnavas, by the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we came to know what is our highest goal. So, we are not the seeker of any other bhakti. We are the seeker of Uttama Bhakti. Because we are under guidance of Rupa Goswami Pad. We are Rupanuga. And we are even Saraswata Vaishnavas. Our Sampradaya is Saraswata Gaudiya Vaishnava, Sri Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So, by our Guru Vargas, Acharyas and disciplic succession, we came to know that our goal is not any bhakti. Our goal is Uttama Bhakti. Why? We are Rupanuga line. Our line is Rupanuga Dhara. So, Rupa Goswami is telling, अन्या विलासिता शून्यम ज्ञान कर्मादि अनावृतम आनुकूल्येन कृष्णानुशीलनम भक्ति रुतम. So Rupa Goswami is instructing from beginning Uttama Bhakti. This is beginning verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, first verse. In first chapter also. So Rupa Goswami instructing at the beginning of his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, not any other bhakti but Uttama Bhakti. So, but in other scriptures there are many different varieties of bhakti. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapil Deva instructing to his mother Devavati so many varieties of devotion. Among them, which is best one? The best one is Nirguna. Nirguna, Animita, Niskinjana. So many synonyms of Uttama Bhakti. So we should try to practice Uttama Bhakti means Nirguna, beyond these three modes of nature. Unless we practice Uttama Bhakti, this highest goal is impossible. If we will be contaminated by Rajasika, Tamasika or Sattvika Bhakti also, then we cannot be qualified to attain this Radharasya. So to attain this Radharasya, we should associate with the Radharasya devotees who are practicing. So that is why Sajatiya Sayasninde Sadhu Sangha Swato Bore. Rupa Goswami said clearly. Rupa Goswami said, what kind of Sadhu Sangha we should do? Because associating with any kind of sadhu, devotional creeper will not be nourished properly. According to different rasas and different sampradaya, it will be nourished. So according to sampradaya also one should associate. According to rasa also one should associate. Then it will be nourished more. So Rupa Goswami said, Sajatiya means same jati, same caste, means same sampradaya. Asaya means antakarana, and in same internal mood. Same antakarana means heart, internal thinking. And snigdha. Snigdha means very soft and tender. For example, there are some sadhus. If not snigdha, difficult to access that. Snigdha, understand that? Snigdha means very soft, very easy to access. But if you see any sadhu, if you see only, you will tremble. Like Durvasa Muni. Then very difficult to go there. So you cannot feel comfortable to go there. And if you are unable to go there, then how you will ask, how you will learn? So it will become very difficult. So we have to choose also Snigdha sadhu. Snigdha means who is very soft, easy to access, easy to inquire, easy to get reply. That is also necessary. But if you go a place where you cannot enter, if you go also you are not comfortable, you cannot ask the question, and you cannot get the reply, then there you cannot be benefited more. So Snigdha means very soft, easy to access, easy to ask, easy to get reply, and easy to believe. So this is called Sajatiya Snigdha, means whose heart is very soft and tender. Sajatiya Sayasnida Sadhu Sangha Swato Bore. And last qualification means Rupa Goswami telling in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu what kind of Sadhu Sangha we should associate. Unless we follow this, then we cannot get a real benefit. We cannot be benefited properly. So he has given so many adjectives of Sadhu Sangha. What are they? First Sadhu Sangha is Sajatiya, same category, same caste, same group. Then Asaya means same antakarana, same heart also. For example, if our heart is for Madhurya, if our heart is for Radha Dasyam, and if we are associating with the Krishna Dasyam, who is in Dasya mood, then how we will release the Madhurya mood? Then become not Sajatiya. Understand the point?
Yes.
Yeah. So one whose mind is fixed in only Dasya mood, He does not want more than that. And one whose mood is to attain Radha Dasyam, Madhurya mood, then if they associate together, then cannot be nourished. Because one, he will tell only that Dasyam, that, Krishna Dasyam, other will tell Radha Dasyam, Madhurya. Then only dispute will start. Only quarreling and dispute will start. No, this is correct. And this is correct. Like this they will fight each other only. So it will not be nourished. So this is called Sajatiya, Asaya. Sajatiya and Asaya, two words. Sajatiya means same category. And Asaya means Antakarma, heart. So Madhurya devotee, then they will release more and more. For example, whenever Hanuman is Dasya Bhakta, and when Krishna was appearing in front of him, then he was not so happy. Because Hanuman's worshipful deity is Rama. And when Krishna was appearing in front of Hanuman, then he was telling, I want to see you as Ramchandra. Because his worshipful deity is Lord Rama. So Krishna was appearing in front of him as Rama to nourish him. So which is Rasa will be related, that will we think only best. So here we should be careful. If we are interested to release all taste of all transcendental ecstasy, then it will be completed only in Madhurya Rasa. That is also will be completed in Radha Rasa. Why which you will lack no any symptom of transcendental ecstasy, which is completely full, completely released. But in other rasas, when we will observe, we will feel that is best, but really lacking. Because in Dasyam only two qualities. And in Saksham, there are three. What are they?
Vishwamba Bhav.
Yes. And then in Vatsalya, then Lavana and Palana. And in Madhurya, all together. But in Dasya devotee also think Dasya is superior to him. He is not feeling that I am lucky. So this problem will come. Because really in Dasya, not all are included. But he will think this is okay. Like before I told, pig is thinking this is superior body for him. As long as he is not changing from pig body to demigod's Indra's body, he is feeling that pig body is perfect. Because observation making him that I am okay. So similarly, according to scripture, first we have to listen all these. Then we have to select to which relation we have to establish with Krishna. So unless we listen all the varieties of rasas, then how we can know that which is superior? So that's why we have to listen all. And Rupa Goswami explained all these rasas. So in Radha Dasyam, we will lack nothing. Our all releasement will be completely released and we will be perfect Radharani's Kinkari and Dasi. Why? Because what is the difference between Sakhis and Manjaris? Sakhis, they are not getting some service of Radha Krishna, which Manjaris can get. So Manjaris are lacking no any other service. Some Sakhis, they are not getting all services of Radha Krishna. That's why Manjaris, this is the superiority and greatness of Radharani's Kinkari's mood, Radha Dasyam. So that we will release when we will listen the name, form, quality and pastimes of Radharani compiled by our Goswamis like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, all 6 Goswamis and Prabodhananda Saraswati. When we will listen these topics, then only we can find the difference of different rasas and what is superior. Unless we listen this, then we think what I am doing that is okay. But that is not really okay. That's why sadhu sangha is necessary. Without sadhu sangha we cannot know this. So now we will start that verse of Prabhupada Saraswati part, which he is explaining in Radharasa Sudhanidhi. And in that Radharasa Sudhanidhi, he is teaching us how to release the Mandriva, how to attend Radha Darshan. So I will start that verse which I rested last year. So I will begin from there. Last class was where?
San Francisco, maybe? UG?
Where from IQ last time?
I think Badger.
Huh?
I think New Braj.
New Braj.
Yeah.
New Braj was last program?
Because when Alatra was Bawa Tapta. So then.
No, Alapta was the last.
Yeah, but Alatra was.
After that, Alapta I went to New Braj? No.
No.
From there I came here.
Yeah,
I think Alapta is the last one.
Yeah, but it was only Bawa Tapta and then New Braj.
New Braj was last
New
one.
Braj
Yes,
last one.
yes, yes. So New Braj was last one. That, no, after New Braj was last one.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
New Braj is last one?
That's one before here.
Before here.
Hmm.
Then you came here and did Bhagavatam Saptana.
Oh.
So we
But
did-
after from here I went to New Braj. No, I think.
No.
From here I went.
Yeah.
New Braj was the last one.
New.
No.
You came here
Kings.
last.
Huh?
You came here last.
No, I remember that last one is in Queens. Queens in New York. New York.
New York.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
right,
remember
right,
that.
right.
New
Yeah,
York.
yeah.
And then you came here.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah, right.
Yes. I came from there to here.
Yeah.
Yes.
New York.
So now we will start from there. That is 37th verse. But prior to this, there are two verses which are most confidential. It is not for general public more. Because very confidential. So I am skipping these two verses. Yeah.
For Sunday.
Huh?
For Sunday.
Sorry?
You're keeping for Sunday once we become more qualified after 5 days of your Harikata.
Because that is more secret. More secret. Yes. So I think because now this is public and what is relaying also streaming, that is more confidential person, very secret. So the two verses I am skipping. Yeah. So from 35 I am going to 37. In 37th verse, Prabhupada Saraswati telling, Patravaling rakaitum kuchayo kapoli badrum vicitra kavaring navamallikavi Angam cha bhusaitum abharanai dhrutase Sri Radhike mai vidhe kripavalokam Sri Radhike mai vidhe kripavalokam. Here, Prabhupada Saraswati praying to Radharani. O Radharani, when you will shower your merciful plan. First I am explaining the details of all syllables, then I will explain detail. In this verse telling Prabhupada Saraswati, Patravali means the row of leaves. Row of leaves or bunches of leaves. Patravali. Patra means leaf. Avali means collection. Patra means leaf. Avali means collection of leaves. Patravalim rachaitum. Racha means when I will paint, I will design. Patravalim rachaitum. Where? In the chest of Radharani. You see, when telling chest only, then we are not comfortable in public. And if we go these two verses, that is most intimate and confidential and secret. So that is, if devotees are desirous, and only confidential devotees, then I can tell. But this is streaming. So, that's why I am skipping these two. Yeah. So if some devotees are interested, make some private, then I can tell. Yeah. Those who are desirous of Radharasam, because for Radharasam this is necessary. Those who are fixed only Radharasam, for them this is necessary, these two also. But one qualification necessary, he should be comfortable. He should be comfortable to listen. But if anyone is uncomfortable, he should not listen to it. These two, that's why I skip it. But if one is interested, then they can ask, then I can make separate class without streaming. So that I will not skip. Knowingly I skipped because I thought, due to this public streaming, so it is not comfortable. Why? How we can know our qualification? When we are listening, we should not feel any discomfort. When you are feeling little bit of uncomfortable means you are unqualified. Then material people will come. Then you may commit offense, then problem will come. So to listen these two verses, which I skipped, we need completely beyond the bodily conception of life. So then only we can digest and we feel comfortable, release. Otherwise we may feel material conception towards Radharani, then we may commit some offenses and mundane thinking. That's why knowingly I skipped it, but I have given the opportunity. If any devotees are desirous, confident, privately I can speak to them with a group, not openly. Why? But for Manjaris, these are necessary. Unless how we learn how to serve Radharani, how to serve and please Krishna. So here Prabhupada Swami are telling, Patra valim rataitum kuchayo. O Radharani, when you will shower your merciful glance, so that I will have the opportunity to decorate your chest by different varieties of leaf. Means not putting the leaf, decorate by like painting, decorating. Not only leaf, papole means cheek also, like so many varieties. When you are nowadays in beauty parlor, so many decoration. But this is nothing in front of Manjari's decoration. Now we are looking and spending many dollars and rupees to decorate in beauty parlor. But this decoration is nothing in front of Manjari's decoration. If we see that, this becomes insignificant. Yes. But we have no experience of that, because we have forgotten Radharani and Krishna long time. So no remembrance coming. Once we regain that memory, we will forget everything. Now, why we are being attracted in this matter? Because we forgotten the beauty of Radharani. What beauty of Radharani, Rupa Goswami telling in his what is it? Chatu Pushpanjali. In Chatu Pushpanjali first verse, Rupa Goswami telling, Jasya nakha dyuti koti shriya. What beauty emanating from the toe-nail of Radharani's toe-nail corner, not complete nail. What beauty emanating or coming from the one corner of Radharani's toe-nail. Only one corner of Radharani's toe-nail, how beautiful, that will be uncompared, even beauty of crores Lakshmi. What to speak this material attraction. But that beauty now we are not relishing, not experiencing. That's why we are being attracted. So once we see that, we will forget immediately only. No one can attract us. For example, I am giving, when Narada fell down and became the son of maidservant. Then, by the blessings of Sadhu Sangha, because his mother was maidservant of one ashram where sadhus were staying. So, one time, all of you heard in Bhagavad Saptam, but for separate class, if it is possible, then details of Narada's previous life and practice also possible to discuss. So, Narada speaking his previous life, that how he fell down and how he took birth from the womb of a maidservant who has no money, who has poverty. Then he was serving in one ashram, like cleaning the utensils and sweeping, etc. as a maidservant doing in ashram and different places. So Narada's mother was also maidservant. But one day what did happen? Sadhus came for Chaturmasya. So 4 months sadhus were there. So at that time Narada was a very small boy, only 5 years old. So at that time sadhus they stayed 4 months continuously due to Chaturmasya. And Narada was listening Harikatha from their lotus leaves regularly, continuously for 4 months. And this small boy was Narada. So when sadhus they are looking small kids, they are loving. Yes. And this Narada was getting the opportunity of sadhus blessing. Whatever sadhus they were eating, Narada telling himself about his previous life, how he promoted to Vyasdev in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto. That Uchishta Lepam means whatever sadhus they were eating, their remnants I were getting. And sadhus remnant has more power. Because whatever their bhajan, what they have, that will transfer or infuse. So this small boy Narad every day was taking the remnant of sadhus. Like our Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Kaviraj Goswami also said, Krishna uchishta hai Mahaprasadam. Bhakti uchishta hai Mahaprasadakhan. When we are offering to Radha Govind, then it is only prasad or Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad or prasad. But when Radha Govinda's prasad is served by Vaishnava or Sadhu, then it is becoming Maha. But only Radha Krishna's prasad is only Mahaprasad. No Maha. So when it is served by Vaishnava, Guru and Sadhu, then it became Maha. Then if more sadhu, then Maha. You add one more Maha. Yeah. So whose power increasing? Sadhu. So this Narada was eating the remnant of sadhu. And you must have seen and studied in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata also, that there was one Vaishnava who had taken the vow to take the remnant of sadhu. You know his name? Kalidas. Kali Krishna. So he had a strong faith on Vaishnava's remnant. So what is the efficacy and the power and energy or influence of Vaishnava's Uchishta, the remnant of Vaishnava and Sadhu? Kalidas has shown by his practical example. One sadhu whose remnant he was taking, you remember? Jharu Thakur. When Jharu Thakur was very humble and he was low caste also, so he was not feeling comfortable to give any remnant to any Vaishnava. So this Kalidas, when he was serving to him, this Jharu Thakur was not giving any remnant. Because Kalidas was superior caste than to Jharu Thakur. So, but Kalidas had taken a vow to take remnant of all Vaishnavas. So, now one day this Jharu Thakur came and Kalidas served lots of mangoes. Yes. And he was in one devotee's house. That devotee had brought lots of different varieties of mangoes. when that devotee served, he was a household devotee. And Jhartakur went there. Then after that, eating that mangoes, then Kalidas was waiting to get that remnant. But he could not get. Because he was not giving. Then that mangoes they were thrown in the garbage. Then Jhartakur went. Then this Kalidas was hiding in the bushes. Then when Jhartakur went, then Kalidas went to that garbage and took from garbage and ate. Because he had strong faith on scripture what he told. So then Mahaprabhu was witnessing all this. Because he is omniscient. So how immediately fruit is coming. Whenever Mahaprabhu was going to see Lord Jagannath, every day to see Lord Jagannath, prior to entering inside Jagannath temple, Mahaprabhu was washing the lotus feet. Govinda was cleaning the lotus feet, then Mahaprabhu was entering inside Jagannath temple. There is a kunda where Mahaprabhu's water was going after cleaning. So Mahaprabhu was not letting anyone to toss that water after cleaning. Till now, he was not letting to anyone. But one day, this Kalidas, who was taking remnant of all Vaishnavas, then he went to see Lord Jagannath with Mahaprabhu. And when Govinda was cleaning the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, Kalidas was there. Then immediately Kalidas took in his hand the lotus feet water of Mahaprabhu and drank. Yes, 3 times. After drinking, Mahaprabhu saw, but he did not chastise, he did not angry, he blessed. Why? Because he know his faith on Vaishnava and on lotus feet dust, on remnant and lotus feet water of Vaishnava. So Mahaprabhu knows that he has strong faith, what is told in scripture, what is told by Guru and Vaishnava and Acharyas. So Mahaprabhu allowed him and blessed him. But to others he was not allowing. Because he knows that he is faith, he has no duplicity. That's why he was allowing. So here also, Devarsi Narada had a strong faith, and although he was small child, he was taking remnants of all Vaishnavas, sadhus, and listening Harikatha continuously non-stop 4 months. Then, when the 4-month day passed, before departure, when they said that we are going, then Narada was crying. When Narada was crying, then all sadhus' heart melted. Because he said, "Oh Maharaj, I was feeling very happy, I was very blissful serving you." Because every day Narada was coming early in the morning to all sadhus who were staying there. "Oh Maharaj, please give your copy. Please, anything to, like we are telling her, what is, to clean what we are telling?
Laundry.
Laundry. We are using our laundry. So Devarsi Narada, in his previous life, when he was small boy in the ashram, early in the morning he was going to all, knocking to all the ashram sadhus. "Oh Maharaj, give your clothes for laundry. Give your clothes for laundry." So all the sadhus, they were giving cloth, copy, everything. And Devarsi Narada was going to clean and drying. After drying, he was bringing and giving to sadhus. So sadhus were very happy after looking to him. From childhood, how he was very serving mentality. So Devarsi Narada, in his previous life, as a small child, he was pleased all the sadhus and Vaishnavas by serving. That is why our Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they are telling, "Chhadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistara Pehajikala." Without service of Vaishnavas, no one can conquer Maya, no one can attain to Radha Krishna's prem. Impossible. So no Radhasya possible without Vaishnava service. Because without service of Vaishnavas and Rasika Bhaktas, heart will not melt. Because material property, material money, if you have, people can take. people can take. If someone knows or family members knows, they can try to take, or you have to divide. Yes, unless you divide, you will have face so many disputes and unsatisfaction. You have to face so many quarreling also. Because there is option of stealing, dividing. So if you accumulate more material properties, you will have so many enemies. Even if you don't give, your friends and relatives will become unsatisfied. So sometimes thief can steal. Sometimes thief can steal. But spiritual property, devotional property and knowledge, spiritual knowledge, nobody can, no brothers, sisters can divide. No relatives can divide. No one can take. And no thief can steal it. So this spiritual knowledge and devotional feeling and transcendental ecstasy feeling, nobody can steal, nobody can divide, nobody can take. Then how one can get this? Only one can get this when the possessor of this property wants to give. Otherwise, no option to take. Nowhere any option to take this. Only one option. When he wants to give, then only you can take. Then when he will want to give? When his heart will be melted. When he will be pleased to someone and his heart is melted and want to give, then only it will go. From his heart to whom he is giving, he will go to that heart. Otherwise, no option. But material property can be stolen and divided. But the spiritual property and bhakti, nobody can steal. No brother, sister, relatives can divide it. No one can take it also. It can be only gone when someone is desiring to give from his heart to other heart. And that is only possible when his heart is melted and being pleased by the behavior, attitude and obedience and devotion. By all these symptoms, when heart is melted, then he will desire to give, then it will go automatic and inject. So that's why scripture and everything, all they told, we have to please sadhu to get the blessing. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Thakur, they said, Sariya Vaishnava Seva Nistar Pechika. Without service, serving the Vaishnava, Guru and Acharyas, the Acharyas of Vaishnava Sadhu's property nobody can take. When we are serving them, pleasing them, then only it will come. Krishna has made this arrangement only by pleasing. So this Narada was able to please in his previous life. So when they were going to prepare their luggages, then Narada fell down at their lotus feet and cried, "Oh Maharajas, you are now living, so I cannot survive without you. Because 4 months you habituated in such a way that I cannot survive without you." Why? Every day listening Harikatha, every day chanting Harinam, every day doing service of sadhu. So Narada is now acquainted. So without you, I cannot survive. Then sadhu said, no, your mother is there. If we take you, then your mother will be unsatisfied. Your mother is old, so you stay and serve. Then he cried again and again. Then there was Narada requested, then you make some arrangement. Then all sadhus, they gave initiation to him. They gave initiation mantra, you chant this, then you will have no problem, you will get perfection. Then he took initiation and chanted and followed their guidance. Then by chanting, one day his mother died by a snake bite. This is the detailed story. It is containing 2-3 chapters. What to speak on few minutes. One verse of Narada's spiritual pastime has so many philosophies. Very confidential philosophies. Vyasdev, Narada telling to Vyasdev his previous pastime, his autobiography. Yes, Narada's autobiography, he is speaking himself. Normally biography is spoken by others, but here Devarsi Narada speaking his autobiography to Vyasdev. So then under guidance of sadhus, he chanted a mantra. Then one day by snake bite his mother left. But normally we are thinking when problem coming, then we are very disappointed and we are crying and lamenting. But Narada thought it is Lord Krishna's blessing. Why? Now, but when we are considering in material conception of life, then we will think, oh, how this is, Narada is happy. Because normally when mother is dying, if a son will be happy, then people will criticize. Yes. This is material consideration. If a son is dying after a departure of mother, then people will criticize, oh, he has no love and affection to the mother. His mother died and he is smiling and happy. So people will criticize. But if Narada was not thinking this material conception, he was thinking according to spiritual conception. So why Narada was happy? Because now Narada thought, now I can do bhajan more. Before he has to give lots of time for the mother. And mother was restricting him. She did not let to go Narada with sadhus. And whatever he was practicing, he was unable to practice more due to mother's service and talking, etc. Now Narada thought, I am alone. So I have 24 hours a day. So I can practice more. So then Narada thought, I should not stay home anymore. He left, then he went to Himalaya. In Himalaya he was chanting. Chanting. Then one day, before that so many attractions came to test him. Many obstacles came. So I want to give you one experience from the sadhus and the scripture. I am asking, how obstacles are coming? How obstacles are coming?
Sometimes correction of Guru, sometimes by Krishna, sometimes you said this morning Prabhupada, sometimes. All
Yes.
these things.
Yes, but I am asking only one reply. So how happiness is coming? Happiness and a favorable condition coming by punya. Happiness and luxury and a favorable condition is coming by punya. But obstacles, problems are coming by kripa. Yes, by kripa. When Krishna Gurus want to bless, then they will send some obstacles. Yes. That time we should have patience. Yeah. So when problems are also coming, we should have patience. If you cross that by patience, then you will be promoted. So when Guru Vaishnava Kripas, this is the we have to understand carefully. Otherwise, looking opposite. Obstacle, how Kripa? No. Obstacle also coming by Kripa. When Guru Vaishnava and Krishna, rather they want to bless also, they will send some obstacles. So now obstacle came to Narada also. Mother dead. But Narada thought this is blessing. So he was chanting and there are so many attraction came on the way. But he was able to cross all these. No one was able to attract. Then he chanted in the Himalaya. Then one spark manifested in front of him. The effulgence of Krishna. So Krishna manifested and gave darshan to Narada. But immediately disappeared. When Narada saw to Krishna, then he was so happy. But after that disappeared. When that disappeared, then again Narada wanted to see. Then prophecy came. Oh Narada, you cannot see anymore. Antasmin janmani tom drashtu mam eharhasi. Oh Narada, you cannot see you anymore. Then Narada asked, if I cannot see anymore, then how I could able to see? Then prophecy said, Why I gave you darshan to see once? Because unless I would give darshan, then there was chances of your downfall. There was chances of attraction in this material to you. So, to guarantee you that you will have no more attraction to anyone else. So, to guarantee your security from devotional path. So, I gave you darshan. Now you saw me, that now after looking me, you will have no more attraction to anyone else. Unless I would give darshan, then there was chances of attraction in this material world. So now you saw me, and how you saw how beautiful I am, and you cannot find any more beautiful than this. So nobody can attract you. But I can see more or not. Then Professor said, yes, you can see forever, but not now, after giving up this body. After giving up this body, you will become associate. Then you can see. Then Narada asked, then why? Why I have to wait? Because avipakva kasaya. Avipakva kasaya means your kasaya, means your prarabdha is not destroyed. Some contamination of Narada is there. What is that contamination? He has sattvika kasaya. So sattvika also problem which causes bondage in this material world. So we should not be attracted to tamasic, the mode of ignorance, rajasika, the mode of passion, and sattvika also. So for Vaishnavas, for pure devotion, three are bondage. So we should be always attraction towards nirguna. Then what was the kasaya and the defects in Narada? The defect of Narada, he was attached for that forest, Himalaya. Oh, this place is nice place, so I wanted to stay here. Attached. And attachment is problem, bandhan. So, because banam to sattvika vasa, we should not be attracted to raja, tama and sattva. We should be attracted for what? Nirguna. Beyond three modes of nature. So what are the sattvika, what are rajasika, and what are nirguna? Banam to sattvika vasa. Forest is sattvika quality. Quality of goodness. Forest. So we can take the advantage of a forest, okay, but we should not attach. If attachment, then problem will come. It will create the obstacle. Forest is looking beautiful, everything is favorable, okay, but don't be attached. Why? Forest is sattva, quality of goodness. Banam tu sattvika vasa. Rajasam grama uchyate. And village and cities are quality of passion. Village and city, quality of passion. If we will attach for city and village, then that is the quality of passion. That will also cause of bondage. And what is tamasika? Tamasam dyuta sadhanam. When gambling and playing is going on, that is dyuta sadhanam. Means a place of ignorance. And what is nirguna? Man niketanam to nirguna. My niketanam, my home, my place, like temple. So in forest also temple necessary. In village also temple necessary. If only forest, no temple, nothing, no God, then it becomes sattva. If village but no temple, then also rajagun. And if a place of gambling and playing but no temple, then it is tamogun. But man niketan to nirguna. My place, my home is nirguna, beyond these three modes of nature, where Maya cannot influence. Then what is that? Like very Krishna's place and home. Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannathapuri, Dwarka, etc. And temple constructed by, established by Guru and Vaishnava Acharyas. So that is nirguna. So to make nirguna, we should have temple, and for household devotees, they should have a small temple in their home also. Because they cannot come always for temple. So they should make small temple where deity also or any photo also. Does not mean that always deity is necessary. there are 80 varieties of Vigraha, DT. 80. Photo also non-different from Vigraha. Saiti, Dalmai, Lauha, Raupya, Saikata. 80 varieties of manifestations of Lord's deity. So among them, one of them should be put in the altar at home. Then become Nirguna. If no temple, no photo, no Vigraha, in house only we are eating and making for ourselves, that will cause the bondage. So to make free from the three modes of nature, everyone should stay in a temple, not in a home. House and home is bondage, but temple is Nirguna. So we should make our everything temple to stay. Unless we put altar and photo or Vigraha and worship and offer, then it cannot be temple. So it can cause bondage. Whatever we eat, the reaction will come. If we are eating Sattva-gun, then Sattva quality will come. If Rajagun, Raja quality will come. If Tamagun, Tama quality will come. But if offer become Prasad, then Nirguna. So we should make our house temple. Then only we will be free from this bondage. So now Narada had this attachment to stay in Himalaya forest. So this was cause of delaying to get perfection. So Krishna said, you have to stay little more to complete your kasai. Because you had desire to stay there, so you stayed little more to do bhajan, your desire will be fulfilled, then you will be free from contamination. Then Narada stayed there more, and when time of giving up the body came, then he left the body, then he became Devarsi Narada, associate of Lord. So, how became Narada? By the blessings of Sadhu Sangha, listening Harikatha, and serving their cloth, etc., and following their orders, and taking initiation. Then, after practicing, then in next life he became associate. So this is the proof by Narada himself how by association of sadhus becoming easier to get perfection. So here also, now come to the point where I went, because we have not now remembered. It does not mean that we know, because some time we may have, but now a long time we forget. So now we are unable to see how beautiful Radharani is. So we are forgetting her beauty. That's why we are being attracted in this material world. Like Narada was able to see Lord Krishna once. Why? After looking to Krishna, he was not attracted by anyone else. He was able to do peaceful bhajan. Just he was waiting to give up the body. So after giving up the body, he got perfection. Because after darshan of Krishna, Krishna was so beautiful that in front of him, whole world became insignificant. He could not find anyone who can attract him. So he was able to complete his bhajan, give up his body, and become associate. Similarly, now we have no experience of Radharani's beauty. But how we can know how beautiful Radharani is? Now we have to listen about her from his her beloved devotees like Goswamis, and in their lectures and scriptures. So how beautiful Radharani is? Radharani is, what to speak here, complete beauty. Rupa Goswami telling in Chatupuspanjali that what is the beauty of one corner of a toenail of Radharani, that cannot be equal by the accumulation of beauty of crores Lakshmi's beauty. So what to speak? Radharani's complete beauty. Only toenail corner beauty is more than crores Lakshmi's beauty. Then you see how beautiful all gopis and manjaris and sakis. That's why we have no experience of this now. We are unable to see that. That's why you are very easily attracted in this material world. Maya also cannot attract. If we are realizing the beauty of Radharani, then Maya will run away. no one can attract anymore. So to know the beauty of Radharani, we have to listen this. After knowing this, oh, Radharani is so beautiful, then our attachment will go towards Radharani. Then become easier to forget all these. Unless we listen this, then we will be attracted very easily in this material world, each other. So, this is very important to know the beauty of Radharani. How beautiful Radharani, unless we know this, how we will decorate. So, Prabhupada Swami Prabhupada is decorating and looking how beautiful Radharani. So, I am just explaining the literal meaning that Chitravali, Patravalim Rataitum Bakhayo Kuchayo Kapore. O Radharani, please shower your merciful glance so that I will have the opportunity to decorate your chest. So that I can decorate. Only Manjari can decorate, no Sakhi. Radharani does not give this opportunity to Sakhi. Sakhi are bereft of this. That's why Raghunath Das was telling, Dasyayate rasastu rastu nityam sakyayate namastu namastu satyam. Oh Radharani, I am respecting your Sakhi post, but I don't want to become Sakhi. Raghunath Das was telling in Vilat Pushpanjali. Radharani told, oh Raghunath, why you are crying? Because I am looking that at my Radhakund. You are crying always, day and night. And when you are crying, I am unable to tolerate it. So I came here. So don't cry. Today I want to make your Sakhi, make my Sakhi. So you come and become my Sakhi. Then Raghunath Das was telling, no, oh Swamini, I don't want to become your Sakhi. Then Radharani telling, then you are disrespecting my Sakhi post? You are thinking my Sakhis are nothing? You are thinking my Sakhis are nothing? Then Raghunath Das was saying, no, I am not telling your Sakhis are nothing. I am telling your Sakhis are superior. They are respectable. So I am respecting. I am not telling your Sakhis are inferior. So I respect and pray to your Sakhi. But please excuse me, but I have no taste to become your Sakhi. I have no taste to get that post. But I have respect to your post. So I am respecting, honoring. But I don't want to become that. Then what do you want to become? Oh Swamini, I want to Dasyayate rasastu satyam. I want to become your maid servant. I want to become your maid servant. I want to become your Manjari, not Sakhi. Then Radharani is pleased and blessed. So, why Raghunath Das Goswami rejected Sakhi post? And why he prayed to become Manjari post? Because some speciality which Sakhis they don't have, but only Manjaris they have. That we will discuss tomorrow. Today time over. Today exactly 8, so proper time to stop. So tomorrow we will discuss what is the superiority of Manjari Bhava and Sakhi. बोल विश्वानंद श्रीमती राधा रानी की जय, गोविंद जी की जय. So that's why we are so fortunate.
So one question, Raj?
Yeah.
So you're telling that we, by hearing and understanding what is the highest, otherwise without hearing and understanding, we'd be attracted to. So then the question immediately, the example in Jaiva Dharma, so Babaji has two disciples, Brajana and Vijay
Kumar.
Yes, Vijay Kumar. And they're both hearing.
Yeah.
And yet, one has the taste for Sakya Bhav and Sakya Ras, and one has the taste for Manjari.
Yeah.
So if it's all by hearing, why is one for one thing and one is for another, hearing from the same source?
Yes. That is also, for example, among audience, for example, now also, all of us here, But it does not mean that all will follow immediately. All may not follow and accept and practice and realize immediately. They will take time. They will take time. When see the differences, then after realization it will come.
Yes.
Not immediately. Understand?
Yes, maybe talk more on Thursday morning.
Yes. Yes. And this question is for a different
Yes,
discussion.
but I know. Yes.
No discuss more this. Yes. There is some solution, but you ask privately better. Any more? Okay. Now Arati.
No, not. Who's I don't. Maybe. Okay?
That's exactly the question. Oh, Maharaj. No, please. You can give that to me.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to see
Yeah,
you
yeah.
so long.